Hello guys. So I just kind of wanted to do a video about brainwashing and what it's about. And, I saw this really great clip. I saw this really great clip that, I agree with. And, I thought I would share with you. It's, from, a segment of Jim Breauer's, show that he does. A great comedian, a great guy. I really enjoy, his comedy and stuff like that. And, sometimes he talks serious too. And if you can, I would suggest go ahead and subscribe to him because, he's very down to earth and very, truthful. So the gist of it is that he discusses brainwashing and the effects of it and the manipulation and control. And I want you to listen very, carefully to what he has to say and see if it doesn't make any sense. If you can try and, if you can try yourself to, kind of go behind the scenes or kind of take a step back from situations of watching TV, especially, and take a step back and just kind of look and listen with a very unbiased mind. Because when you can look at something with an unbiased mind, you can see it for what it is. Okay. So let's go ahead and watch this clip.
Brainwash. Brainwash. I'm going to show you how they do it. But here's the key. You have to do the following, all right? Listen to me. This guy.
Abe lost his leg, yeah.
You need to listen to me. I'm going to teach you something here. The first thing you got to do is detach your emotions right now. Okay? You're not a liberal. You're not a conservative. You're not Republican. And you're not a Democrat. You're just a human being watching something. I don't want you to focus on the news channel. And I don't want you to focus on what's being said. But what I'm going to show you is how they manipulate your thinking process. Now, right before the show started, I saw this thing. I don't even care who this is. I don't even care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But it's being fed on CNN. Again, it doesn't matter. Let's not pretend it's CNN. But I want you to listen how they interrupt the broadcast and the words that they use to feed your emotions, to control you. Because that's what news is. Controls your emotions, it controls your decisions, and it gets your ass and your mind and your brain to just absorb and obsess. Obsess. Watch this. You guys don't even know what I'm about to show you. Listen, not to what she's saying, but listen to how they interrupt. And the words they use. This is it? Is it the CNN when they cut her off? Okay, just listen to this. Ready?
Released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the U.S. election.
Doesn't matter.
on December 5th.
We've been listening there to the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, continuing on what has now been a multi-day effort, not only with public statements like this, but release of documents to attempt to back up the quite extreme allegation.
In the attempt to give these extreme allegations, how do you not understand that is dipping in your mind and telling you what to think before you even have a moment to digest the situation? That is no different than I walk in and go, this person is attempting to give these outrageous allegations, and if you can't stand this person or you can't stand the other news, you're already all in. If I'm a liberal, I'm like, yeah, it's crazy allegations. It's just insane. That is called brainwashing, and if you're falling for it, you're being brainwashed. Listen to the words they use to manipulate your thoughts.
Some sort of
Conspiracy.
By the intelligence community at the time that Russia interfered in the 2016 election.
Multiple intelligence.
Listen again to the words they use. Are you ready? This is mind control.
Russia had neither the intent nor capability.
Right now, someone's going, you need to interrupt the program. They're not reporters. CNN is not reporters. None of these news networks are reporting. They're telling you what to think. They interrupt and listen to the words. And mark my word,
Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, continuing on what has now been a multi-day effort, not only with public statements like this, but release of documents to attempt to back up the quite extreme allegation that President Obama is guilty of treason and that he worked in some sort of conspiracy with Hillary Clinton, etc., in the assessment by the intelligence community at the time that Russia interfered in the 2016 election.
Multiple intelligence community assessments released.
if you can't see what that just did, now, if you label yourself as a liberal, if you label yourself as a lefty or a Democrat or whatever, you immediately just made up your mind because they told you what to think. They told you what to think. If it wasn't Tulsi Gabbard, and they're not talking about Obama, they're talking about cheese. If CNN came out and they said, we just found out that this cheese years ago had a, we found all the receipts, we found all the proof to prove that this cheese tried to prove it was a hot dog. And then all of a sudden the news feed goes, we interrupt this program because, you know, they're continuing to make these allegations that are just the conspiracy that are outrageous. Watch how many people tomorrow are going to go, did you hear about these outrageous conspiracies? All the cockatoos are going to, because that's all you are. You think you're informed. You're just a cockatoo watching the news. Conspiracy, conspiracy, outrageous, outrageous, conspiracy, conspiracy. Watch. That's how brainwashing is. And I had people go, whoa, you know, we're more intelligent. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because you're emotionally involved. I'm not emotionally involved, and I can see how ridiculous that is. I can care less what the subject matter is. I'm more concerned that that so-called trusted news channel is telling you already how to take the situation, how to think about it. That's not their job. It never was their job. And the minute you realize that news is not here to feed your soul in a good way, in a human way, they're just here to create negative, hateful, and control your thoughts and your emotions, you're going to be able to deprogram yourself from this entire system. And it gets easier and easier when you detach your emotions. Oh, that stuff drives me nuts. What?
Can I have my phone back?
Yeah, you can have your phone back, Mike. There you go. Sorry. Where's my phone? Okay. Wow, I'm sweating. That stuff makes me nuts. It makes me more nuts that people don't see that. How do you not see that? Like they just purposely jump in. Like, hold on a minute. Here they go again with their outrageous. Who, first of all, let me explain something again about any news channel. And this includes Fox. Sorry. I know some of you don't want to hear that. It's all propaganda. Stop watching television. Stop watching tell a vision. Is that easier for you? How many of you trust everything you see on the television? I know I still have family members. If they don't see it on the TV, it doesn't exist. Where'd you get that? From the internet? Yeah. I got it from the place where, yeah, and the internet can be dangerous, but not as dangerous as networks. Networks. They throw the net. They're casting their net to grab you for their nightly programs. Tonight's program, as we tell a vision onto you, think of how much of your life you trust that a TV or someone on a TV will tell you. You know what it's like sitting with, I had family members. And if you don't think for one instance, whoever runs television, every single network, please don't be foolish enough to think that they don't know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing.
So the line between education and brainwashing is paper thin. What is brainwashing to you? What do you think about when you think someone being brainwashed? Let me give you for example. When I was a kid, brainwashing was considered if you were in a cult. Now I don't have all the details, but when I was a kid, there was a cult, a kind of a religious cult that, like teenagers and young adults would kind of get themselves involved in. And it seemed like a really good thing. Like, they would practice being kind and giving out flowers and, trying to be helpful. But actuality, it was a very deceptive, scheme that the head of the cult was doing. The head of the cult was trying to, get these kids, these young adults to come in, and they would train them to do certain things in order to steal money, steal other people's money or other people's items, or it was just a really deceptive kind of thing. Being brainwashed means that someone is telling you information and you accepting it full face forward. Not asking questions, not testing the waters and clarifying what the details are. And this is important because when NASA came about and did the moon landings, nobody questioned it. Nobody journalized and said, hey, did this really happen? Can we really trust you? Nobody questioned it. And this is a really, really very, it's a difficult concept for a lot of people to think, why would I question that? Why would I question the moon landings? They just happened. They were for real, I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't see any problems. I don't see how they would lie. That is brainwashing. When you take anything, whether it be a religion or a politic, whatever it may be, brainwashing is just wholeheartedly believing in something without any background check or any other type of questioning it, questioning the legitimacy of it. This is what a lot of Globers don't understand or don't seem to comprehend, is that the globe was literally an indoctrination. So how would that look like? Well, when you're born, your parents, of course, they get you all the kind of toys they can for space. They buy books about space so that you can see pictures of planets. So this is instilling in you, this is what there is. NASA claims that this is what exists. They've proven it because they went to the moon. This is the rhetoric that kids grow up in and believe in. They've got all kinds of toys, clothing, costumes, spaceships that you can make and create and pretend play. Just all kinds of things when you're a kid. Then you've got the globe in every classroom, and science is taught as if it's a legit, no excuse necessary kind of thing that you better believe the globe because, well, it's a proven fact. What's proven about it? Where's the proof? Who proved it? I want you to think about these questions, really. Seriously. Who proved that Earth is a globe? What to you distills without any question, any doubt whatsoever that it's a globe? What is the foremost thought in your head that tells you that it's a globe? And where did it come from? And how is it that you don't question it? When you can think of the answer, I want you to write it in the comments below because we're going to have a discussion. We are going to start talking about being brainwashed, NASA, and the ongoing effects that they do on people. We're going to expose NASA for what they really are, which are liars. And if you don't agree, that's fine if you don't agree. But we're going to show you once and for all how they're manipulating you. And you really need to pull your head up, out, and wake up. Flat earthers are not trying to degrade you. We're not trying to, because we believed in the globe too, I grew up with space mobiles over my crib, toys, clothing, costumes. And then, of course, you get into school. In school, it's a matter of fact. This is this, this is that. You better believe it. Here's some books. There's the pictures. That's a fact. Those pictures aren't even real. We have 0 pictures of anything real outside off the face of the earth. There are no real globe pictures, videos. None of it's real. We can put side by side different pictures of pictures of pictures and say which one of these are real. If you say, well, this one here is real, well, what makes the other ones not real then? Because they all look different. Video of the moon, we've got from NASA saying that here's video of the moon going around the earth. Why does it seem so close when pictures from the Apollos, from the moon landings all look distant? So what's the truth? That's manipulation, folks. That is the clear deception. And I get I get so frustrated with some of you guys for, well, you know what? We're not going to question NASA. We just believe them straight up forward because you know what? They told us so. So we're going to believe them. That's crazy. And yet you hem and you haw over every single time that we try to show you something of flat earth. It's like your resistance. It's like your Darth Vader's resistance. We're going to resist the truth. You guys got to stop that. It's insane to me that you constantly, well, you know what? We're going to go through this with a fork and we're going to pull out all the things that we think are wrong with it. Well, hey, before you start doing that, why not start looking at NASA first? Analyze what we're saying. Look at the details. Do experiments yourself, for crying out loud. Nothing's stopping you from doing it yourself. We've got experiments and they prove flat. So what is stopping you from understanding this? Why are you refusing to accept the truth? That's what I want to know. It's time now to understand what brainwashing is and how you have been manipulated. You've been manipulated. We all have. The only difference is that flat earthers realized it and they escaped it. They got out of it. They're not in their own way anymore. They're more open-minded. They still fall for the same tricks, the same deceptive cons. You know, they listen to the news and they go, oh, that must be the truth. So here I go. I'm going to run with it. You got to start thinking. You got to start thinking independently. Please. I am begging you. Please start thinking independently. Stop being so biased. Stop using your feelings and being so guarded. We aren't criticizing you. We're critiquing them. We aren't telling you that you are wrong. You've just been misled. But there's a point in time where you have to be like, hey, you know what? Do I have any morals or values anymore? Do I really care what the truth is? Because if you care what the truth is, I really, really need you to listen. The truth is the most important thing, is it not? Bottom line is the truth.